stage, no polished choir, just a voice in the dark and a spark to the wire. This is and I'll bring the fire, gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I'll bring the fire, and I'll bring the fire. Everybody's selling truth like a brand, buying opinions they don't understand, talking in circles, screaming online, keyboard courage, borrowed spines. Yeah, power plays dressed up as peace, same old wolves with different teeth, but silence is loud when the house is burning, and the fuse is short, yeah, it's still learning. I don't dance for the left or the right, I stand in the heat, I stand in the fight. No strings, no chains, no manufactured choir, just gasoline thoughts and an open lighter. This is and I'll bring the fire, gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I'll bring the fire, and I'll bring the fire. The world's on tilt, pressure climbing. Truth don't whisper, it's perfect timing. You can't cancel the smoke, you can't stop flame. Say my name when it hits, say my name. Why? Say my name.
I'm going around, and I'm going around because hopefully we win the midterms. And it's very scary because, like, it's 2 out of 50 years or something like that.
That's right.
For some reason, when a president wins, Republican or Democrat, even if they're a good president, and hopefully I'm a great president, based on the first year I'm a great president. And we had a great first term, too. People don't know, we rebuilt our military. We had phenomenal financial numbers, but I think this term's blowing away really every term. But traditionally, when a president gets elected, out of, I think, 50 years, they've had 2 that won. I don't understand it.
You're going to be the
They've
next.
had 2, so we have to, and one was by unusual circumstance. So there's something psychological. If you win the president, whether you're Republican or Democrat, with that being said, the polls look very good. Everything looks very good. And you have great congressmen here, congressmen and women here, and we love Iowa. We love Iowa. And I think didn't I just give the farmers $12 billion, right?
This job and these people who want to say follow ICE, and film ICE, you know what? You can protest. They have that right. But when you cross that line, and we've proven it, if you interfere or impede or assault an ICE officer, you will be prosecuted. And one thing I'm pushing for right now, Laura, we're going to create a database where those people that are arrested for interference, impediment, assault, we're going to make them famous. We're going to put their face on TV. We're going to let their employers in their neighborhoods, in their schools, know who these people are. Because as you said, a lot of these people, they say they're taking time off work to protest. I bet you a lot of them are calling in sick. I bet you a lot of their employers don't know what they're doing. But we're going to make sure everybody knows who they are. We're going to broadcast. They want to broadcast the ICE officer that was nearly killed all over the internet. We're going to broadcast every one of these people we arrest.
So in Minnesota, they think it's $19 billion. If they think it's $19 billion, triple it or quadruple it. And if we catch a lot of this fraud, and I felt it for a long time, but now we know what's happening. And the answer is, yeah, there will be accountability. It's one of the little problems. I happen to think, and I've said it from the beginning, that a lot of what's going on with respect to Minneapolis, with what's happening with all the hoopla, is so people don't talk about
You think it's a distraction?
I've said it from day one. It's a distraction because what you don't see is that we have hundreds of accountants from Todd and from all of the different people. We have hundreds of accountants going over everything that's happening. And we're finding fraud on top of fraud on top of fraud. And I think that they don't want that to happen. You're talking about $19 billion. Probably that's a minimal number. Now, you take that and you go to California. You think California is better? I would say California is worse. It's totally out of control. They don't know what they're doing out there.
That's right. You and me, right now. We're having it out. Let's go. Come on. Come on.
Never gets old, man. I still love it. Old South Park. Oh, so good. What's going on, everybody? You guys ready for another panic cycle? It's going strong right now. You guys ready to drink the Panic Aid and just jump in? It's the water's warm. It's a great time to jump in if you're freaking out. If you want to join the panic inside the black pillars, it's a good time for it because they are going out strong. We're gonna break it down tonight. I'm Ace. Tonight, guys, we're going through the whole cycle. We got to cover it. I'm so tired of it, but we have to. We got to break down what's actually going on. Why the heck is everybody freaking out? What is going on right now? This Minnesota thing, it's got people losing their minds. It's just like in this thumbnail I put up, man. Round and round we go. Hey, hit this one, hit this one, hit this one. Let's play the hits. Well, it's time for another panic cycle. So I'm gonna walk y'all through it. We're gonna get out. It's gonna be okay. Gonna break down what's really going on, and then we're gonna get out of here. Hopefully, feeling much better because nothing. I mean, the media, man, they're so predictable. It's so like it's laughable. If it wasn't so funny, it'd be annoying. But once you see it, it is funny just to see it come round and round. I mean, my God, we have so much time left in the Trump administration, so much time left in the midterms, and the first year was amazing. And we're gonna break it down. We got a lot to talk about tonight, folks. So if you're panicked, you're in the right spot. If after this you're still panicked, I mean, here's your sign. Like, I'm just gonna have to do the Jeff Foxworthy, or was it Jeff Foxworthy? Was it Jeff Foxworthy or the other guy from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour? Here's your sign. Well, we're gonna be handing out some signs if people are still panicked after tonight. But man, even Steve Bannon's jumping in on it. Oh, it's falling apart. Trump's capitulating. He's giving in. This is not what the people wanted. We got Rich Barris out there just like, oh, the midterms, it's all over. The Republicans. And listen, I know the Republicans are losers. You know the Republicans are losers. But the attacks on Trump, I mean, come on. Anyways, gonna break it down tonight. And so before we get started, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I appreciate the support. Hit the link if you want to support the channel even more in the description. Get that free month for yourself in the membership. And yeah, all that good stuff. Let me hit up the chat and we're gonna do it. Wago Waco, what's up, buddy? Numero uno tonight. Blue 5, R. Will, Kim Wiley, what's going on? US 1, Roll Tide. Big B, Lochtefeld's tired of Minnesota. I hear you, buddy. Scott Volkovich, CJ Yukon, what's up? Alice Ford, I'm Gerald Kramer, the one, what to do? D6 report, Pat M, Hayden Mocha. Well, you welcome to the live again. AZ Tropic, what's up? William Kivamaki, Linda Telly, how are you? Donna, what's up? Mark R, Old Man, and Nick Majors, what's going on? Bill Engvall, thank you. That's what it was. It was Bill Engvall. I knew it was Bill. I got it mixed up. It's been a while since I watched the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, man. It's been years, actually. Yeah, Foxworthy, he was, you might be a redneck. That's what it was. And then Bill Engvall was Here's Your Sign. And Ron White was drinking and drunk. And Larry, the cable guy, was always talking about poop. That's how I remember the four of them. Man, those are funny, though. Those were great shows. All right, you guys ready to get into it? I've had so many people panicking. It's just driving me crazy. I'm like, dude, come on. Are we falling for these narratives again? Well, let's go. You guys, the newest one is that the Trump administration, Trump himself, is backing off on deportations. We talked about a little bit last night, but it's getting worse. The narrative is ramping up. I'm hearing it everywhere. They're going after Kristi Noem. The Republicans, like the rhinos, especially Murkowski and Tillis, are calling for Kristi Noem to step down. The Democrats are doing what Democrats do, saying they're not going to sign anything DHS funding. We're headed towards another shutdown this weekend. I mean, come on, just bring it, bring the panic. So fun, so predictable. but we do it again and again and again. This is what we do. I mean, I don't know what I'd talk about half the time if I wasn't putting out these fires. My God, it's annoying, but listen, you guys stick with me. We'll get through it. And let me show you, first of all, just what I think is a tell. You know, if you want to know if it's worth panicking over, look what your enemies are doing. Well, here's what the enemies are doing. After last night, the rioters, well, they went to Tim Walz's office. Do these look like people who think that Trump caved? I mean, they're hitting up their own governor. They're hitting up the lefties. I mean, why? If Trump is the one who caved, why is the left going after their guy? Oh my God, my stupid mouse. Sorry guys, hold on. Give me a sec. This is so dumb. I need a new mouse so bad. One of these days I'm going to get to it, guys. I promise you. I promise you. So, but listen, this is the first tell. Okay? I mean, I already said it, but I'll say it again. Watch what your enemies are doing. Are they panicking? Are they acting up? Are they celebrating in the streets? Trump caved. It's all over. He caved. No, absolutely not. Because they know this isn't over. But Trump cut a deal. Let's see what it looks like. Let's keep going. Oh, wait, here's the White House putting out what they're going to be expected to do now after this phone call with Walz. Turnover, number one, all incarcerated or active warrant criminal illegal aliens for immediate deportation. Turn over, not show us where they are, not let us go get them. Turn them over. Transfer all the criminal illegal aliens arrested by state and local police. Assist federal authorities in detaining them wanted for crimes. Democrats must work with the federal government in the rapid removal of all criminal illegal aliens. It's that simple. And the chaos. Yeah, you think so? So this is what they're pushing. This is what Trump is the new narrative. And this is what's going to tone down the rhetoric. And I know a lot of my, on the left, they're like, we still don't like it. Abolish ICE. No DHS funding. Get Christine home. On the right, everybody's panicking, being like, what? This is a betrayal. Get them all out. Well, let me tell you something, because words matter. And I feel like by now everybody should know this, but we'll continue to train until you learn. Now, I'm a marketer. That's what I do as a profession. I'm a lot of other things as well, but this is how I make my daily bread. In marketing, every word matters. You have to be very careful with your words. You can't say something that'll get you in trouble. You can't overpromise. You can't under-deliver on the back end. You got to know. Well, Trump's one of the greatest marketers who's ever lived. The man knows his stuff. In fact, you could say he's a better marketer than a businessman if you go through his business stuff. Sometimes they're one and the same. Trump is an excellent marketer. And Trump knows exactly what he's doing. Because here's the key word here. This is what's getting all the conservatives up in tangle. Get the criminal illegal aliens. And they're like, well, no, we want them all. We want them all. This is a what? Well, if I'm in marketing, and I am, and I want to get across a message, but without telling the whole thing, I kind of get clever with my words. Well, here's some cleverness in this wording. Criminal illegal aliens. I got a secret for you guys. They're all criminals. Every single one of them committed a crime when they crossed the border. Even the nice ones. Even the good ones that everybody's getting up in arms about. They all committed a crime. So they're all criminals. Doesn't mean they're bad people. It means they're criminals. And criminals got to be dealt with. So when the Trump administration puts something out like this, well, the media, they don't know what to do because they're like, well, how can we get upset about this? We got to figure out how to attack from a different angle. The left is like, this is not good. We gotta focus. We gotta get them focused on make it look like they're going after the good people and how much we hate that. We got to say that they're lying. They're not going after the criminals. They're going after the good ones. That's what they're going to push. On the right, the people pushing the panicking nonsense are all saying, no, we got to get them all. What is this? This is Trump backing up. No, it's not. It's smart. It's called using your brain. And these are the kind of things the Trump administration does to bring out all the weasels out of the barn. You gotta say the thing, put it into words, put it out there, the thing that throws off the left and also makes it so you don't break your promises. The Trump campaign, they're masters of this. They do it all the time. The problem is we have a bunch of bad actors on our side who want everybody to freak out, who want you to give up, who want you to not show up to vote. It's psyop, psyop, psyop all the freaking time, guys. It's all they do. It's just everywhere. And the smart ones, I'll tell you, this is a great opportunity because these are the times when you get to see who's really on our side. Now, some people, it's like Tim Pool right now is freaking out about this. I don't think Tim Pool's a bad actor. I just don't think he gets it, and that's okay. But there are people who should get it, have no excuse, that are freaking out. One of them, Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon having a meltdown today over all this Minnesota nonsense. Trump's back it up. This is not what we wanted. This is not what his voters want. What did he say? He's sucking up to Tim Walz, calling out Trump at like in week. Dude, Bannon, come on. Now, Bannon's surrounded by a bunch of sycophants, and he's got all his guys on his side, and they're all talking about this. He's got Rich Barris on there talking about the poll numbers, and I mean, come on. If you can't see it, what are we doing here? Trump is this is a generational opportunity, a generational leader, a man that's already gotten us more wins in the first year and a half, and if you count the first term, the last 10 years, more wins than America's seen since our first 75 years of existence. We're watching miracles happen. We're watching things form into the future in a good way, rebuilding our country. And these are the same people who would panic over the election before it happened. Oh, DeSantis is, rising up, or Trump better get it together. All this nonsense. When all along you could see where things really are headed. And if you pay attention, if you slow down for a second, you remember all the winning. If you actually see how consistent Trump's actually been, it's easy to spot. And thank God we have some good peeps on our side. Glenn Beck is one of them. Glenn Beck did a great video today. I don't think Trump is retreating from Minnesota, he writes. I think he just told Walson Frey, checkmate. Thank you, Glenn Beck. Somebody who actually gets it. Somebody who can see through the noise. Glenn, well done, sir. Think about it. Minnesota's Democratic leadership wanted Trump to either invoke the Insurrection Act so they could scream military occupation or fully retreat and prove to other radicals they could win. Yep. He nails it. Instead, Trump says he's open to trading less ICE presence in Minnesota for more state cooperation. And that's exactly what happened. The videos last night, state troopers breaking up the protesters, knocking them back. It was glorious. That was the Minnesotans all of a sudden helping. As I told you guys, ICE isn't going nowhere. But that surge, their support, that's what was leaving. Remember, that was his goal alone, to remove the worst of the worst, which is true. Trump has a larger goal, and it's not, I mean, I hate to tell all you guys this, we're not going to get every illegal out. It's not going to happen. There's somewhere between 30 and 50 million here. They're not all going to leave. But we can get millions upon millions of them out. Trump's already accomplished 2.5 million, and that's without ICE funding. So wait, I think by the end of his term, we could see 15 million plus gone. The worst of the worst. And then what's going to happen, I believe, will be some kind of, amnesty is the wrong word, because I don't believe they'll be granted citizenship. There's going to be some kind of worker program put in place where they won't get to vote. They won't get any benefits. And it's going to be something for the stragglers. I don't think it's going to be many. I think over time, we're going to get rid of most of them. But there is going to be some kind of compromise here. And it's going to be in the form of a worker's permit. This is what I think is going to happen. And it's going to piss off a lot of people. I'm not happy about it. I'll tell you right now, I'm not. But I also know there's probably no other way. It's just not feasible to get rid of 30 to 50 million people. And it's not because Trump doesn't have the willpower. It's because we don't have the funding to do it in 3 years. We don't have the manpower to do it in 3 years. And the public, which is already very fickle, will wear down. So that's why it'll happen that way, okay? And it ultimately will come down to when millions upon millions are gone, the general public is going to demand that all the worst ones are gone. You know, housing prices will be lower. Most of the effects of the illegals being here will have severely gone down because we had so many here and there's so many gone. The crime will have stopped. And so Trump or J.D. Vance, whoever is president at the time, is going to have to reach a compromise to get something through Congress and end this. And it'll be with a strong border. It'll be with many millions gone. And it'll be like, what are we going to do with the ones left? Because at some point there will be a Democrat in, or there will be a weaker Republican in. And you got to deal with it now before that weaker person or that other, like a Democrat gets in and they offer full amnesty. That's unacceptable. But that will happen if the public wears down over this over years and years and years and demands something gets done. So the best case scenario is that's realistic is they get somebody in there who can get a strong, with very strict limits kind of worker program. And I'm telling you guys, just be ready for it, because, but that doesn't mean we lost. Okay. It means we have one of the craziest problems you can imagine, which is 40, 50, however many million people here that aren't supposed to be. I mean, we're talking like, maybe 15% of our population. That's crazy. And you can't, it's just, we don't have the power to do it because we don't have a king. We get cycles of leaders. And unfortunately, the people are already freaking out over just what they're seeing in Minnesota. And yeah, even though people are still a little bit over 50% in support of all this, it was over 60%. So you got to play careful. You got to play politics. So solutions, we need creative solutions. And what I hate what I'm seeing right now is the Trump administration knows this. Stephen Miller knows this. Trump knows this. They're going to do everything they can to keep this going hardcore as long as possible before we have to reach this compromise moment. And I think it's a few years away, honestly, but it will happen. And the panicins right now are basically, it's all or nothing always. Okay. It's all or nothing always with this stuff. And I'm sorry, that doesn't work. You can't have it all or nothing because he's not a king. And if Trump was the authoritarian they all say he was, well, then we'd all get what we wanted, at least on the right, because he'd snap his fingers and stuff would happen. But that's not how it works. And so it's all about, hey, it's not, we're not going to get the 80-yard touchdown every time we take the field. We don't need it though. Because it's actually like if you've watched, I'm a huge football fan. You watch football for any amount of time. You know that if the team that gets on the field scores an 80-yard touchdown, I mean, that's great. Momentum, excitement, the win, it excites the fans. It's wonderful. And then the next team comes on and they do their thing. And then if you get the ball back and say you scored another 80-yard touchdown, you just first play, well, cool. Ball goes back to the other team. They have it for a while. But here's what happens. By the end of the game, if you haven't had the slow drives, if you haven't had a few drives that take a few plays that wear down that defense, by the end of the game, your defense is gassed and the other team is coming back. So those big wins that happen instantaneously, they're not good to have all the time. Sometimes you need to be holding the ball for a while and be inching it forward and slowly destroy them. It's much more, it wipes you out a lot. Let me put it this way. The victory is a lot more complete when you do it that way, because you wear them down, you demoralize them, and they just can't come back. That's what Trump's doing right now. That's what immigration's going to be. The border, closing the border, was a 70-yard touchdown throw. Trump took the field, boom, touchdown, right away, massive win. He came in, we got all kinds of massive wins. USAID gone. The tariffs, boom. One big beautiful bill, boom. Win. Quick wins, many of them. All that done in the first 5 months. Boom, 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 boom. Awesome. But then we entered the grind. And a lot of these wins now, except for foreign policy where he can pretty much act unilaterally, it's going to be a little bit at a time. Take the field. 5 yards here, 3 yards there, 7 yards there. Now he's in, I have to kill them slowly mode. And the most important thing right now, let me reiterate that again. I'm going to say it one more time because it's so important. The most important thing right now is that they do not get the ball back at all. That is the most important thing. So right now, it's long, steady drives. And what Trump just did in Minnesota, just like Glenn Beck says, I'd play the clip, but it's 11 minutes, so we're going to read the synopsis instead. I do love Glenn, though.
When I first saw this story yesterday, what he was doing, I thought, is he waving the white flag? What is he doing? Is this all about the election and getting reelected, and he's got to make nicey nice? And I don't think it is. It is if you are reacting emotionally, and I want to say this, I could be wrong on this, so I don't mean to belittle you or have you think that I'm smarter than you, because I can guarantee you I'm not.
Glenn makes me laugh. Right now, what Trump's doing, as he wrote right here, you see this right here? The Democratic leadership wanted Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act. And so, by the way, listen, a lot of us emotionally want that, okay? So don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about the big players, the ones that have big audiences that actually should know better. Just like I kept telling you guys, I think Trump's waiting because it's the wrong timing. Well, people were pushing him, big names, pushing Insurrection Act, when they should know better. And that's exactly what the Democrats would want, because it's not time. I don't know if it'll ever be time, but it wasn't now. They wanted that. Trump did give it to them. And he's also not fully retreating. Both those things, Insurrection Act, because Insurrection Act would accomplish a lot for us policy-wise temporarily, but it would kill us politically. And that we got 3 years left, guys. We can't be killed politically yet. because we lose the people, that could cost us 2028, and then all this could be undone. Or fully retreat, also not an option, because both of those give the ball back to the other side. It gives them a big old chance to really cause harm to us, to score a touchdown back on us. I know the sports analogy is probably getting old, but it works really well here, okay, folks? We can't give them the ball back. And so what Trump just did in Minnesota, it's not what we wanted emotionally. We didn't get our dopamine hit, but he's keeping the ball. And right now, keeping the ball matters more than anything. It's the most important thing. And everybody panicking just doesn't get it. By the way, Tim Pool, I know Jordan came in and says, Tim Pool is bleak on this. Listen, man, I love Tim. I'm on record several times saying he's one of the good ones. He does great work. I don't think he's captured by anybody. But Tim is obsessed, and this is one of his flaws. It's one of his only flaws. He is obsessed with the notion that we are going to fall into a dark period of civil war and lose the republic at some point. He's obsessed with this notion, and he always goes back to it as soon as things get a little bit off again. And he's been this way for as long as I've been watching him, 5-6 years. And it's his blind spot. Because he's right about the Civil War part. He's wrong about what it'll look like and how it'll play out. And if we'll fall apart because of it, the Republic, it's not going to happen. We're winning. We're winning huge. And they don't want you to see it. That's why this comes up. What did Trump just say in that clip I played for you guys? Minnesota, his exact words, Minnesota is a distraction. Yeah, we're falling for it too. I'm doing a lot of my show on it. I kind of have to. I can't avoid it. This is what everybody wants to see right now. But I'm weaving in all the other stuff you guys need to know. Because Minnesota is the distraction. It's not the most important thing. It's just the thing in front of us right now that everybody's paying attention to. Davos last week, most important thing. What happened last week? Huge. Minnesota, Deportations are going on across the country. Successfully, massively successfully. Minnesota accounts for less than 3% of what ICE is doing in the country right now. Less than 3%. Yeah. You heard that right. And yet, it's getting 90% of the coverage right now. Distraction. And this distraction is working in some ways because it's getting people to panic. Now, I think Trump is brilliant enough strategically. Trump's not going to, sorry for this crude analogy. He's not going to blow his load early. He knows how to time these things. And when the moment's right, Trump will go hit the gas again. We're going to have wins between now and the summer, where Trump will keep things afloat. And then come the summertime, it'll be boom, boom, boom for the next 6 months. Unleash everything we can until the midterms. Win after win after win. Trump will take over the narrative again. Do you notice how Trump's not rushing to take over the narrative right now? He just did this little interview today, a couple gaggle reporters. He's been letting all this in Minnesota play out without doing any major. Trump, if he wanted to, he could sit down and do fireside chat daily. He could get up in the podium 2-3 times a week. He's not doing that right now. It's not time. It's not time to unleash it all. Let it play out. It never ceases to amaze me how many people think they're smarter than Trump. I mean, I'm literally watching one of the most brilliant men who maybe has ever lived, who took a couple $1 million his dad helped him with, turned it into a $1 billion real estate empire, owned the tabloids, used it for for himself, became a television star, had the #1 show on TV because his marketing skills are that good. And his marketing skills were good before that too. That's why he owned the tabloids. Became president against all odds. He had an even harder road the second time because people remembered him, and he went through, they went all out on him for 4 years to destroy him forever. And he got through all of it and won bigger the second time. And people think they're smarter than Donald Trump. There's a handful of people in history. The list is short, friends. Maybe a page long of the billions and billions and billions of people who've lived on this earth who've been more successful than Donald Trump. I mean, first billionaire president, leader of the freest, greatest, strongest nation in world history, twice against every odd, after being a majorly successful businessman and entertainment star. I mean, good Lord. The only thing he didn't do is pitch in the freaking World Series. That's about it. He's just never been an athlete. I mean, he checked off every other box. Come on. It's like, it drives me crazy. I love, there's a couple of you in the crowd watching. I'm not going to call you guys out by name because I actually love you guys. You're my friends. But come on, why do you keep hitting me up every time something like this happens? Like things are falling apart. You know better. You know better by this point. Stop watching the crap if you can't handle it. If you feel like you're getting discouraged, don't watch it. Just don't. Brendan Dilley today, after watching Gunther show this. No more stand-down owners. No more letting thugs run wild. Feds do the heavy lifting. Local law enforcement on the ground helping. Here it is. Local law enforcement. We don't need Border Patrol there anymore. We don't need the extra ICE surge because now the locals are helping, busting them up. And Brendan Dilley calls it out. Trump right again. Everyone's saying he caved to Walz is eating a massive bloop sandwich today. Panikins, get wrecked. He's more colorful language than I'll use, but it's true. It's true. I know Trump threw an opening pitch once, and he nailed it. He did. And he's a great golfer, so I guess he is. I don't know about great. I've heard he's good. So I guess he is kind of hits that athlete box too, right? I guess he just never did it professionally. That's the only thing. So this is all going on, and meanwhile, people are freaking out. Well, guess what else is happening right now? Narratives are unraveling, and this is important. This is why Trump's not taking the attention away. He's letting this play out. We're getting new news about this Pretti guy. He's pretty bad dude. On duty, an activist insurgency group backed by the state, not protesting, no protests. He showed up to resist. Federal law enforcement brought his 9mm when confronted. He fought back, and he'd already done it. He had tackled and injured, stating he feared he was going to die. Dispatched part of the resistance group, not protesting. Here's Tim doing good work. We can ask, what was the intention of the second magazine? Yeah. Oh, even CNN's reporting it. A week before, Pretti had another tussle with federal agents. Before he got in, the dude didn't, the dude erased all his social media. Huh, that's funny. I heard another report that he quit his job. I don't know if that one's true. He definitely erased his social media, though. Why do that? That's an odd thing to do before you go to a fight. Bring a gun to a fist fight. Was the dude planning on going all suicidal? I don't know. But when CNN's reporting this stuff, that's pretty crazy. I got to tell you, let it play out. Trump said, Kash Patel said, the investigations are massive into the Somali fraud. Why did Tim Walz give in? Why did Trump feel safe to pull the guys out? Not all of them. Think about all the lies we've heard in the last couple of days. Trump's moving Border Patrol out. Trump's moving ICE out. No, moving just a surge out. Trump is letting Bovino go. No, that turned out to be a lie. Kristi Noem is on the firing block. No, Trump endorsed her again today, says she's doing great. All of it lies. What did I tell you guys yesterday about the fake leakers? Well, I mean, come on. I hope you guys can see it. I really do. And, you know, you don't have to, because I'm still going to show up here all the time and I'll walk you guys through it again. But listen, it's a lot more fun if you can see it in real time. You know what I mean? When you see these stories come up and you go, that's not true. Or that doesn't smell right. I'm going to look into that one. That doesn't sound like Trump. Yeah. You start building the muscle for it. And this is what I do all day, every day. When I'm working, I'm blessed to work at a job where I get to listen to a lot of news as I'm doing my other work. And I'm blessed with the mind that God gave me that's able to listen to stuff, pay attention while also working on other stuff. I don't know. A lot of people say they can't do it. I just, it's not hard for me. But as I hear this stuff, as I'm listening, as I'm seeing what pops up on X, I just all day long, oh yeah, that sounds right. Oh, nope, that's wrong. And I just look at, sometimes I'm off, but I always back it up. I double check myself to make sure. But you know, once you get good at it, you can sniff it. You can sniff it out real fast. And right now, this is a panic fest, all happening at once. And to me, it's just revealing. It's revealing the turncoats, the paid opposition, the grifters, and it's revealing the weak ones. And I gotta say, after Bannon today, man, I'm not calling out Bannon yet, but I gotta tell you, I'm not happy with Bannon. There's some weird stuff going on with him. Lots of whispers that he wants to run in 2028 because he doesn't like J.D. Vance. The Epstein's emails were weird with Bannon. Again, maybe it's nothing. But also maybe, you know, it makes you wonder, why did Trump ditch him in the first term and never go back to him? I don't know. You know, it always comes down to me, I trust Trump. I trust Trump, and he's the one delivering. He's the one actually fighting the battles. And so the talkers, you know, it's a lot. You got to prove a lot more to me to be trusted, and I'll never trust them over Trump. Just won't, unless Trump seriously screws up. And this is just an idea, like example of how we're winning. As Phil Labonte says, Trump leaves a lot to be desired, but this alone is enough for me to be satisfied with my vote. U.S. Census. Look at this. Net international migration. International migration. Do you hear, I mean, do you understand what that means? Worldwide? How crazy is that? 2.7 million to 1.3 million in 1 year. Down 54%, and only 320,000 projected for 2026. Friends, that's a huge win. That's migration. 1.3 million came here legally, I might add, and 2.6 million by January 1st had left between deportations and self-deportations. So that's a nice little negative right there. First time in 60 years. Just like Phil says, that alone is worth it. And what's really crazy is when you get into the numbers and you see how the states are growing or not growing. See the percent growth right now without the immigration. Look at the top growing states. South Carolina, Idaho, North Carolina, Texas, Utah. Why is it all red states growing right now, and only one of them is one of the biggest states in the nation. Because we're having babies, red states have more babies, and because they're leaving the blue states and coming to the red states. You have to get to Delaware, which is under 1 million people total, well, just over 1 million now, to get your first blue state. Isn't that crazy? So, guys, this is how we win. This is crazy for 2030 census. You know how things are going to get aligned electorally? Oh, I got a story for you guys on that in a minute here. Let me read the chat before I move on here. Lochtfeld says, Trump messed up moving the USFL from the spring to the fall against the NFL. Well, yeah, I mean, come on. We don't talk about the USFL. There's a lot of stuff Trump's done that was bad ideas, okay? I'm not saying he's perfect. When I say he's genius and when I say he's uber successful, one of the most successful men who've ever lived, I mean that. And that's verifiable. You can back that up. But it doesn't mean he hasn't had his mistakes. Trump University, Trump Steaks. I mean, come on. We could go down the list. There's some bad ones. Linda says, Pretti was released from his job because of how he was with the patients. Really? That's crazy. He was transgender? What? I didn't hear that one. That's crazy. Tim Pool's been in different countries. That's why he thinks that way. Yeah, he does kind of sometimes forget the difference in our country versus others. You know, this is one thing I've learned, and I actually believe it. Ever since I developed this theory and held to it, I've actually found that it's very helpful in understanding things. And it comes down to this. In our country, we're all born. There's a national mood that's kind of ingrained in most of us, and that is the desire to be free. You even see it with liberals. They can't help themselves when it comes down to certain things. But it's like a tick, you know, they just can't shake it. But deep down, Americans have in our DNA, those of us who've been here, who've embraced being American, which is most Americans, even on the liberal side, it's independence. And when you take that away from us, we fight. And some people fight a little bit less, and some people let it encroach a little further before they fight. But eventually, almost all of us fight. Almost all of us. There's a percentage that doesn't. And this is how I knew, and one of the reasons I feel so confident about how we're not going to fall. In the chat today, in the Discord, there was a good discussion about CBDCs and transitioning to that. And, you know, I know we're not going to do it. I know we're not going there. And the reason I know is because Americans won't stand for it. And what really makes me feel very confident about that is that even in the UK, they fought back. The UK, that's used to their government overreaching, that's much more domiciled than we are. Even they fought back and didn't allow digital ID. They won. The people won that battle. And so how much stronger do you think we are in America than the UK? Much stronger. So as bad as it's gotten, guys, we still have that in us. Finman, did Pretti know Scott Wiener in it? Oh, God. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Probably. All right. Remember when I told you, watch what your enemies are doing to see if they're panicking. Well, I would call this panic. Democrat candidate for Ohio Attorney General says he's going to kill President Trump through capital punishment. Listen to this lunatic.
Hi, this is Elliot Forehand, candidate for Ohio Attorney General.
Oh, snap. Sorry, guys. That's stupid.
I want to tell you what I
swear
mean
I'm gonna stop
when
being
I
racist.
say that I am going to kill Donald Trump. I mean, I'm going to obtain a conviction rendered by a jury of his peers at a standard of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, based on evidence presented at a trial conducted in accordance with the requirements of due process, resulting in a sentence duly executed of capital punishment. That is what I mean when I say that I'm going to kill Donald Trump.
What moron thinks this is a good idea? There's no way in hell this guy can get elected now, especially not in Ohio. It might work in California or Illinois or Virginia, like we just saw. But not only is this one of the dumbest, most desperate ploys I've ever seen from a politician, it also tells you, this guy, you don't post this unless you truly believe it'll rile up your base. Why would it rile up your base? Because you're desperate, because you know you're losing and you want to go to the extreme. And a caged animal gets angrier and angrier and wilder and crazier. And that's what we're seeing, caged animals. This guy is an insane psychopath. And even what he said right here, I'm sure could be like, there could be some consequences for it. But again, look what your enemy is doing, and they'll tell you whether or not Trump is the one giving in. Panic. I just don't see stuff like this on our side. I'm sorry. Does Trump look panic when he's talking? I don't see it. I really don't. Speaking of retards, Brett, this one's for you. Tim Walz. Again, watch what your enemy is doing. Tim Walz is now... Tim Walz got on one of the biggest liberal podcasts today, The Bulwark, right after making his deal with Trump, and had to act all tough guy. Now, why would Walz, if he backed Trump up, if he got Trump backed up, and his base is, rah, rah, you're doing so well, Timmy, good job, you got him. Why would Tim feel the need to go on this podcast and act like this?
Seriously wrong with this guy.
The Trump call had to be pretty weird, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I mean, here's what's weird about it, Tim, is that he knows you have to work together, but it is a strange thing as an individual human being. You know, he calls me the R word. He says, you know, he makes up things that I'm corrupt, like there's something seriously wrong with this guy. And then you get a call that, you know, we got to work together. That's what, and look, I'm probably guilty of that too, because I call them things. I just think I can probably back my comments up a little bit.
Oh, sure.
But I think, and this is where I am very hopeful, for the president to make that call, to tell me he will look into giving us back the cases, you know, partnering with them and reducing the numbers. I'm not going to say I'm grateful, because you started this fire. You don't get credit for putting it out after you started it. But I am going to say, especially in these times, that they are working for a solution. And again, I won't pretend to look into their hearts. I think I know them.
He's got to make it like he won. And then he went and did this. This is a tough guy part.
I would beat the shit out of him now if I could, and I would call that out. I mean, that's just...
He's talking about J.D. Vance and the debate.
I would beat the shit out of him now if I could, and I would call that out. I mean, that's just different. In verbally going at it, my argument is much better. In making the case that housing prices are up because of immigration,
okay,
and that we should build on federal lands.
Out of Vance. Okay. This guy, I mean, I think I got the perfect screenshot of him right there. J.D. Vance has more brains in his left butt cheek than Tim Walz has. And if you doubled his brain, if you doubled his face, his head, that's like, it's embarrassing. But tough guy. Well, Trump called me, just de-escalate, you know. He knew it's good out of control. You know, I would beat the crap out of Vance. Come on. They don't do this when they're winning. Okay? You don't have to act all big and tough and put your chest out when you're winning. When you're winning, I know how the Democrats do. I mean, I've been watching this for 20 plus years. When Democrats are winning, they act really nice to you as they have their boot on your skull, pushing you into the ground, crushing you. And then, oh yeah, yeah, they were kind of nice. That's how they do it, so that the media can fawn over them about how they're so bipartisan. Republicans would never do that. That's this guy. That's what he's doing right now, and that's why it's not Trump that's giving in. You guys want to talk about winning and why this is only the beginning? Look at this census. Oh my God. This is getting worse. I'm going to have to do something about it this weekend. Bear with me, folks. All right, check this out. 2030 census forecast released. Shocking implications for Democrats. Trump, under this map, would have defeated Kamala Harris 321. We're gaining 9 electoral votes in 2030 as of right now. And that's before all the illegals are out. Minnesota's already losing an electoral vote just because of deportations. These morons in the census counted illegals as citizens for the electoral votes. So think about how much California gained from that. Think of how much Illinois. This is not even counting that. It's not even counting what's possible with deportations. This is just counting what people have moved, jumped over to new areas. 9 electoral votes, folks. That's huge. In elections that are always close these days, that's huge. Massive. You get this, it becomes impossible for any decent Republican MAGA candidate to lose again. He could have lost Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and was still winning the Sun Belt and still won it. That, my friends, is why 2028 still looks very good for Vance in the current structure. Just wait till 2032 with this new map. This is why I feel very confident going forward. Just crazy stuff like this. Moody says, tough guy, who won? Why does he have protesters invading? Exactly. Notice how Tampon said we get a call to work ago. He didn't say he called Trump or Trump called it. Yeah, well, he couldn't. Yeah, I called Trump. Yep. Lockfeld says, since the Democrats won Virginia, left its agenda gone over to exactly, and that's what they'll do here. They'll do that nationwide if they win again. And that's why you have to be so insanely stupid to not vote in the midterms. But that's what they want. Why do you think it has been nonstop since November trying to convince us not to vote? Trying to convince us our vote doesn't matter. It's been nonstop. I see it in so many places. We had Candace Owens saying she's not going to vote. Nick Fuentes saying he's not going to vote. We have several others saying, what's the point? Trump's losing. They can't say don't vote because they're fully on our side. But what they do say is, does our vote not matter? Trump's not carrying it out. Look at Dave Smith and the libertards. That's the kind of stuff they're saying. Huge influence. They reach millions of people, especially Dave. You got people like Rich Barris, who I used to really respect, and I'm losing respect for him every day, even though he's a darn good pollster. But I'm losing respect for him every day because he's reveling in the Republicans being stupid, and then he keeps bringing it back to Trump. Oh, Trump didn't listen about this. Trump didn't do about this. It's all about him all the time and how they're losing. I don't see any effort being made, and this is how you know they're okay with it, because they're acting like this criticism of Trump is actually what is needed to fix things. No, it's not, because we are winning like crazy. We are getting so much done, even without the fickle Republicans. We can criticize the Republicans, and we should. We should question Trump when we wonder what he's doing. I don't need to because I don't wonder, but others can, and that's fine. But when that's all you do, and when you never bring up the other point of saying, but we also need to get the message out about what is being accomplished, the incredible stuff happening in the economy, the incredible stuff happening overseas, the impact that's having, the fact we have mass deportation and net negative migration for the first time in 60 years. Win, 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 massive wins. The fact woke is dying. Let's talk about the cultural wins. Woke is on its deathbed. It's cool now to be conservative. It's not cool to be liberal anymore. That's a huge cultural wins, all because of Trump. DEI fading away. These are huge wins. Trans, like from 3 years ago, which was its peak, till now, it's like 25 to 30% of people are saying they were trans compared to what it was 3 years ago. That's a 70% drop in 3 years. Yeah, the fad's over, folks. That's a win. These are wins that affect people's lives, children. What about in Maha? All the health wins we're getting. Red dye, gone next year. They have this last year to comply. Vaccine schedule, severely less. Helps a lot of kids avoid allergies and autism and probably many other health issues. No more vaccine mandates coming from the federal government at all. Our military getting stronger. Woke up military. It's win after win after win. Why aren't we talking about these things? If you sat down a person who's panicking right now saying, I don't know, Trump's not doing it, he's pulling out of Minnesota, this is what I voted for, oh my God, who is he? He's overseas too much. If you sat them down and you said, what's your biggest issue? Oh man, I'm so worried about the economy, why won't he fix it? And you said, well, hold on a second. Look at where inflation is. Let me show you the numbers. Look where inflation is right now. The tax cuts haven't really cut in yet. Look what's going to happen there. You see GDP? Well, GDP has been way up, and there's a lag factor. That'll come back to your wages. That's already happening since Trump did this. Look at what's going on with the tariffs. Everything they said was wrong. We're getting all these numbers. Oh, yeah, let's talk about deregulation. You know that all this stuff massively deregulate and all this investments coming in? Yeah, by the end of this year, we should be booming. Did you know any of that? Well, nobody's talking about that. I just know that my groceries are high. Yeah, I get it. These things take time, but it's happening. This is what we need. Talk to people. But all these people with all these millions of viewers, when you combine them all, millions and millions of viewers, they're not educating. They're freaking out over every damn thing because they want views, or they're purposely trying to subvert Trump. And I think it's more of those purposely doing it than you think. A lot of these people are bought and paid for. A lot of them. So just keep your eyes open. Watch for this stuff. Lochtefeld says 70-30 hamburgers, $8 per pound. $8 per pound? Where the heck are you buying your hamburger, bro? That's crazy. I paid $4.29 a pound the other day at Aldi for it. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm mad when I pay $5 a pound for 80-20. That's nuts, dude. Vinman says that's not including the Dems losing their illicit funding. Yeah. Oh, just wait till that funding is dried up for a couple years and they lose what they already had in their accounts and it's not replaced. Just wait. This election, this midterms, it's going to wipe out a lot of their funding because they're going to have to use that money. They're going to have to. Moody, yeah, I covered the Glenn Beck piece earlier, Moody. No, I haven't talked about the Ilhan Omar. We'll get there. Not cool to be liberal anymore. Get rid of your purple hair. You might want to. That's a good price. Oh, you're in Canada, Moody. I'm so sorry about Canada. That's crazy. What do you pay for beef up there, Moody? That's wild. That's wild. Okay, here's a couple of fun stories. We'll do Ilhan in a minute, but I laughed so hard when I saw this. I cannot believe I lost viewers to this woman. People who were like riding so hard on Candace that when I went after her, that I lost them. I lost some for good. They're still over there listening to this woman. Here's a tweet from her today. Back online after internet blackout. I grew up in Connecticut. I've truly never seen ice like this ever. The temperature is 30, but the ice on our treetops is not melting at all. Oh, and this is a woman unpacking the Charlie Kirk assassination. Oh my God. I hope all you got that and I don't have to explain it right. Right, we'll move on. I'm just going to assume I have a very smart audience. Oh, man. Whoo. All right, saw this today. I haven't confirmed this, but this is going around. So, we'll see. If I'm wrong about this, I'll be wrong. But this is just too juicy. I just wanted to throw it out there. Thomas Massey, where his funding comes from, his grassroots funding. Hey, Massey, why is a quarter of your campaign money, why is a quarter of it come from California when you're in Kentucky? You care to answer that, Massey? Yeah. Well, you know who also gets a lot of donations, small donations from liberal states? Democrats. That's how they route their money. They create fake names, or they use somebody else's name and use it 100 times. Small donations. We have so much grassroots funding. Yeah, it's all laundered. Act Blue, anybody? So why is Massey getting a quarter of his money from one of the most liberal states? Now, again, if this story turns out not to be true, I will say, I'm sorry. It's not going to change what I think Massey is. But this, to me, because I already believe it, this to me tells me this is true. And here's Massey's largest individual donors. Group by family name is individual donors. And you can just see Texas. That's weird. Tennessee, California, Connecticut, Florida. Why? You can say it's a bunch of libertarians donating to them, but come on, really? For a state race, a House seat? I don't know about you guys. That sounds a little fishy to me. Just a little bit. Trump came out today, said this about Cuba.
Well, we're going to see what happens with
Oh God. I'm so sorry, folks. I'm so sorry.
Cuba. I don't know. Anybody interested in Cuba in this room? Not too many people. This is not a Cuba room, but that's all right. There are plenty of them around, especially in Miami. And Cuba will be failing pretty soon. Cuba is really a nation that's...
Cuba, baby. It's next. It's going to be an island soon. That's run by the United States. It's going to be glorious. And yeah, I can't wait to see that go down. All right, I made a mistake, and I didn't have Ilhan Omar ready to go. But fortunately, it'll come right up because this is a big story going on right now. Ilhan Omar. Well, we'll use this one. This is the most staged thing I've ever seen in my life. Here's Ilhan.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Guy sprayed her.
I don't know.
Everybody freaks out.
I need a napkin. I need a napkin to know nothing.
And here's the dude. That looked like a lefty or what. Anyways, she finished her speech. It wasn't poison, anything. It turned out it was like deodorant. I think he said you stink or something like that. Just pretty dumb. Here's a close-up of the guy sitting there. Had the camera perfectly on the guy. So, anyways, it really looks staged. Look at that guy. Does that guy look like conservative man who's going to get it?
Our staff.
I mean, listen, if some conservative dude is going to risk going to jail, assaulting Ilhan Omar, he's going to use poison. He's not going to screw it up. But whatever he used didn't harm her at all. And now this guy's gonna be in trouble. But look at this guy. Look at that face right there. This is a loser of losers. I mean, I feel sad for the guy. He's probably like, hey, we'll give you $5,000. Yeah, you'll be in jail for a little while. Maybe 6 months. But we'll try to get you out. We'll probably be able to get you out. This is Minnesota after all. But hey, but $5,000, buddy, you up for it? He's like, I guess I could buy me a lot of World of Warcraft. That's this poor guy. I mean, this is what they do. They pick the losers, man. They pick the losers. So it's very sad, but at the same time, obviously staged. So, Candace will blame the snow in Israel. I bet she already has. By the way, there was a lot of stuff in the sky before the storm. So just saying. Yeah, I know they're trying to kill you guys with that food, Moody. It's terrible. Ed Galrain beat Massey in the primary. Won't that be glorious if he does? I mean, if Thomas Massey loses his primary, we're having a party, folks. We are having live stream party. Drink if you got them. If you don't drink, get your best junk food because we're having a party if Massey gets bye-bye. Candace has lost her mind. She's lost her mind for a while. Yeah. Cuba's falling. Amen. I totally agree with you. Mark R. This wasn't Tiggs from Silence of the Lambs, bro. Oh man, you guys are too funny. Jesse Smollett 2.0. The face eats carburetors. You guys are awesome. I love it. I have the best audience. I'm just gonna say I have the absolute best audience. All right, guys. Well, hey. Couple of laughs. Listen, no panic. Nothing to panic about. I hope you guys feel better after watching tonight. You guys are the best. We're winning. We're winning so hard. It's crazy. It's only going to keep continuing. Members Live tomorrow night. Be there, be square. You don't want to miss it. We're going to have a good time. Yeah, I'm still going, Toe. I'm still going, but not for much longer. So if you guys want to get in on that, if you've never watched a Members Live and you want to get in, it's easy. Go in the description, click the link. If you're on X, go to the pinned post on my profile, click the Patreon link, get a free month, and jump on in and see if you like it. See if it's for you, and you also get access to the Discord. So anyways, guys, listen, let's laugh. Let's have a good time because all this, like Trump said, is a distraction from the real stuff. We got to talk about it, but it's not what matters. What matters is what's going on behind the scenes, but also in front of us that everybody keeps liking to jump away from. We're winning. We're winning so hard. So let's end in a prayer because it's working. Prayer works. Our nation is being saved. And Moody, up in Canada, you Canadians and everywhere else, your time will come as well once we're done here. So let's keep praying and until we get all the wins. So Heavenly Father, thank you for what you do for us, Lord. Thank you for saving our nation. Thank you for Trump and this administration. And Father, thank you for eyes to see, ears to hear, discernment, and places like X where we can get all the information and put it together. I thank you for that, Lord. Just such a massively important thing that happened in our history. It's getting freedom of information to people. Father, we pray protection over President Trump and his team, protection, wisdom, and boldness, God, to continue doing everything they need to do in the best way possible, never giving up the ball to the other side again until we've fully won a massive victory. That's total and complete. And total and complete, God, looks like justice for our nation, peace in our nation, prosperity in our nation like never before. And that's what we're praying for, to leave to our kids and our grandkids. And God, if you'd bless us enough to get to enjoy it as well in our time, we would thank you for that. So, Lord, we love you and praise you and thank you for your blessings. Bless everybody watching tonight and just be with them. And God bless them and what they need. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Love you guys. Have a great night. Thank you again for watching. I will see you members tomorrow and everybody else on Thursday. God bless.